Tom Homan, the border czar, came on Fox earlier, and he gave some personal insight and words based on the big deportation that happened this past weekend. So let's check this out.
All right, let's get to some news. It's 4 minutes after the top of the hour. The White House is defending its decision to send hundreds of alleged gang members to a super prison down in El Salvador.
And President Trump is thanking the country for taking all of those illegal migrants in.
Good job, El Salvador. One of the great stories in Central and South America. Maddie Rivera is live in Washington. Maddie.
Hi, guys. Good morning. The president of El Salvador says more than 200 Tren de Aragua members arrived in the country over the weekend. He also says they received almost 24 MS-13 gang members from the U.S.
Jesus.
A senior Trump administration official tells our Bill Malugin
261 total illegal migrants deported, 137 of which were via the Alien Enemies Act. 101 were Venezuelans removed via Title 8. 21 were Salvadorian MS-13 gang members. What's going on, man? 2 were special cases for El Salvador.
Illegal aliens were deported to El Salvador. In total, 101 were Venezuelans removed via Title 8, and 137 were deported through the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And that's what's been causing a lot of controversy. This wartime authority gives the president the power to deport non-citizens without a judicial hearing during a period of war or invasion. The act has only been used 3 other times in American history.
The last time was World War II.
This is the first time it's been invoked since World War II.
Yeah. So the last time that this was used during World War II, they were basically, it was during the time where they were holding people that were suspected of association with the Nazis, and also people that were associated with the Japanese, just because we had a lot of people from all different countries that were living here at the time. And they invoked this in World War II for that reason. That was also the time we had like internment camps and all kinds of stuff like that in the United States to relocate people that were here that they were concerned about. Obviously, there's a lot of there was a lot of good and bad that came from that, because there was a lot of innocent. Any of these types of things, you're gonna catch a wide swath of people that are bad. You're also gonna catch a few people that aren't necessarily bad people involved, because it's just like you're casting a net out and you just catch as much as you can. You know, I mean, it's, you know, I think somebody else mentioned it, like the prison system in the United States. There's people that need to be there, and there's people that don't need to necessarily be there, that aren't supposed to be there, that shouldn't be there. I would imagine that there's probably a couple here and there that may not have been bad, but I don't know for sure. You know, there's always going to be good people and bad people that get caught up in stuff, but there's definitely, I would say the large majority of the folks that they got rid of were for sure people that they had vetted and like got ties to figure out like, hey, these people are definitely bad. We need to get them out of here.
But the president is justifying its use.
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. They emptied jails out. Other nations emptied their jails into the United States. That's an invasion.
Yeah. That's also why he declared them foreign terrorist organizations, so they could do these things.
The act to see if its invocation is legal, and he ordered deportation flights to turn around. But the White House says the planes were already outside of U.S. airspace, so they argue the judge's ruling no longer applied. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the administration did not refuse to comply with a court order. Leavitt goes on to say federal courts generally have no jurisdiction over the president's conduct of foreign affairs, adding a single judge in a single city cannot direct the movements of an aircraft carrier full of Aryan alien terrorists who are physically expelled from U.S. soil. The temporary restraining order is in effect for 14 days. A hearing is scheduled on March 21st. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian.
All right,
Maddie, it's incredible. Thank you so much. When you look at their rap sheets, it's hard to believe that some...
Said, as a Canadian with family down in the U.S., what's your opinion of the whole Canada-U.S. thing? Well, I hope it blows over. You know, I think it's just governments talking to each other, and like, they're, you know, I think that your average person from any of these countries, if we all, I mean, you know, the countries that all kind of get along, we're all pretty much friends. Like, most of the people are probably good people. You know, there's going to be some folks that are, you know, maybe not, but I don't know enough about like the whole tariffs stuff to really like make an educated opinion on it. I just know that, you know, based on what the administration is saying, that the United States has been getting the short end of the stick for a while, and so they're rearranging like the baseline to get to a place where the U.S. is not on the short end of the stick. You know, So I think that most people in Canada probably like America and like Americans, and most Americans probably like Canada. You know, the sound. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. It's hard to keep up because the 24-hour news cycle is just crazy.
Judge was saying, keep them here in America because they are alleged gang members and their rap sheets are long. These are career criminals that were in America.
Most people probably don't. Yeah, most people are so focused on just taking care of their families, they don't have time to worry about all this stuff.
You see in the video, their heads were being forced down. They're being transported one by one. They're getting their heads shaved. They're walking with their hands behind their necks. And this is all at a detention center, the El Salvador Terrorism Confinement Center. And the president down there says they will stay for at least a year.
Yet again, I find myself amazed with the Democratic Party and even some of the members of the media. They're talking about process again, and they're not talking about the evildoers that were in our country because Joe Biden decided to just
we'll see you later,
unleash border, remove all the security barriers that were there because he didn't like the
shave heads?
That came
I don't know.
him. And you had 10 million people come into the country.
Could be for hygiene.
And some of these people right here were the ones that came into the country. Rapists, murderers.
The shaving head thing could be for hygiene to make sure that they don't have like lice and other stuff like that. I don't know for sure though.
People that committed assault as well. And so you have this unifying message. 80% of the country, over 70% believe that we should have mass deportation of these people. Yet they defend the actions of these criminals.
So the way I understand it, a couple of days ago, I think it was Friday, where the president enacted the 1798 era Alien Enemies Act. And he said because of that, he was setting the table to get rid of TDA, MS-13, and all these criminal gangs that have come into our country. Next thing you know, we have lined up, I guess, 21 of the most wanted El Salvador MS-13 guys, 250 alien enemy members of TDA.
I see what you're saying, Ashley, as far as like due process, regardless of how evil they are, due process should still apply. I think the reason why they invoked the act is because of the fact that these folks were not citizens, and while United States citizens are subject to due process, if you're not a citizen of the United States, especially if you're part of an organization that has been declared a foreign terrorist organization, then it doesn't apply to you as much, because they don't want to bog down the system with people that aren't even citizens. They don't want to bog down the legal system with people that aren't even American citizens. And I think that's probably why they tried to do this, was to get around that bureaucracy of the legal system and stuff like that. If I had to guess, that's just what I would assume.
They were all decided because I think Marco Rubio worked this out with the El Salvadorian president to open up their prisons. They cleaned up their country by putting them all in jail. And they said the ones who came into America, we'll take them back. We pay them, but it's going to save us money to put El Salvador, keep them in a complete lockup for at least a year because we do not have the confidence that Venezuelan will be able to hold them. So a judge decides, wait a second, I don't think you should be able to do the 1798 Act. Turn the plane around.
No way.
Turn the plane around.
No way.
No, we're already out. And in turn, Congressman Brandon Gill of Texas has announced plans to impeach the judge for trying to assert himself in this process. And it's James Boasberg. He wanted a 14-day.
So we Brazilians are hopeful that Trump will intercede for our country. Yeah, I don't know. Brazil's got their own stuff going on. Every country's got their own stuff, trials and tribulations that they're dealing with. Let's see. Corey, you said that I've been there three years fighting it because split homes with my daughter. Yeah, I can imagine that's tough. Yeah, shaving heads is hygiene for lice. That's what I figured. Following the U.S. Constitution is not illegal. A city judge does not have federal jurisdiction. Yeah. Under this act. Due process is still observed under deportation. Warrants are issued and a judge or commissioner does have to sign the documents. Oh, okay. I think maybe you're right. I don't know. Not under this act, they don't. Due process does not apply to foreigners and non-citizens. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out. I'd be curious to see. Does due process apply to illegal immigrants? Let's see. Okay. Well, here it says 5 rights of undocumented immigrants. The Constitution protects all people. Who's this? Clearwater Law Group. Let's see. The Constitution protects all people living in the United States, regardless of immigration status. Okay. Most constitutional provisions based on personhood, non-citizenship. In other words, if an individual is physically present, they are entitled to the protections granted by the Constitution. I didn't know that. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or prosperity without due process of law. Now, I think that the reason they were able to get around this was because of the let me see, the Alien Enemies of Act of 1978. Let's see. Now, where is it? Alien Enemies Act. Explained is a wartime authority that allows the president to detain or deport the natives and citizens of an enemy nation. The law permits the president to target these immigrants without a hearing and based only on their country of birth or citizenship. Although the law was enacted to prevent foreign espionage and sabotage in wartime, it can be and has been wielded against immigrants who've done nothing wrong, has evinced no signs of disloyalty, and are lawfully present in the United States. Let's see. Well, that could be like their interpretation. I wonder if there's where alien enemies. Okay, house.gov. Regulation, let's see here. Whenever there is a declared war between the United States and any foreign nation or government, or any invasion or predatory incursion is perpetrated, attempted, or threatened against the territory of the United States by any foreign nation or government, and the president makes public proclamation of the event, all natives, citizens, denizens, or subjects of the hostile nation or government being the age of 14 years and upwards who shall be within the United States and not actually naturalized shall be liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies. The president is authorized in any such event by his proclamation thereof or other public act to direct the conduct to be observed on the part of the United States toward the aliens who become so liable. The manner and degree of the restraint to which they shall be subject, and in what cases and upon what security their residence shall be permitted, and to provide the removal of those who, not being permitted to reside within the United States, refuse or neglect to depart therefrom, and to establish any other regulations which are found necessary in the premises and for the public safety. Okay. So that's how they were able to get around it, because based on what the law says, you can essentially deport people without anything as long as they have any invasion or predatory incursion is perpetrated, attempted, or threatened against the territory of the United States by any foreign nation or government. That's what they were using. So, I mean, it's a little gray, but imagine you invite people to your house and they get aggressive and not be able to kick them out and trespass them. Yeah. Permanent residents like the dude from Columbia University are. I don't know about him. Yeah, I don't know if that dude from Columbia was a citizen or not. If you're a citizen, I think it would be much harder to do this, because it's like you're here legally and you are a citizen of the United States. And so this couldn't, because at that point, then like you are a citizen of this country. So they can't like kick out a citizen of this country if they're just associated with another organization, I don't think. But I don't know. I don't know how they would get around that. So anyway, that's what it says.
A hold to examine this. Forget it. And okay, Democrats, go ahead. You go stick up for these guys.
You run on this.
You said that
Tell
Barack
that to
Obama,
the nunnery family.
Yeah.
This judge is a Barack Obama appointee. And Donald Trump said...
Yeah, no, you're probably right, Master Sky Guy. I think you can't just roll people up, no matter who they are, and ship them across the border if they're like a citizen of the United States. I don't know how they he was a green card holder, legal permanent resident status. You're not a citizen officially, but you have legal protection and right to live and work here. Yeah. Yeah. Under due process. Yes. I guess they rationalized it by saying that this act that they invoked kind of gets around that. If the people are causing harm, I don't know.
Too late. You decided this. They're already out of U.S. airspace. They're flying down to El Salvador now. The migrants are already out of U.S. airspace when that judge ordered the planes to return. And he said the order came too late.
81 illegal aliens also arrested in Kentucky on ICE raids. So we've kicked out about 37,000 illegal aliens with criminal backgrounds and or did some type of criminality once they were here. This is exactly what Trump's trying to do.
I just asked the question, Bri, again. Is this, you see these images of these violent criminals that were in our country. Do you guys want to be the party of these folks right here? Do you want to be the party of defending these folks? Something has to also be done. Brandon Gill, he's the youngest Republican in the House, represents my home state of Texas. He's offering these articles of impeachment. I don't think it's unwarranted. You got these federal judges that are acting like activists, trying to make sweeping measures for something that the president has the authority to do.
Right. So think about this. If you're Laken Riley's family and you find out the Democrats and this judge is saying, turn the plane around, bring it back to America, you know how many crimes that they would have perpetrated had President Trump not won the election and led the charge, but Tom Homan the executor of these plans to get rid of these people right away. So I just think overall it's a great message. This is what they keep telling me. Like Henry Quayle was the first to say it. It is so valuable to show the world the video of people being turned around. Don't just tell me numbers. Show people being turned around, because it bridges languages. They go, it's not worth it to sell my mud hut and come here with all the money I have to get into America. I'm staying.
So this morning, hundreds of illegal immigrants, some with alleged gang ties, are no longer in the country.
Let's see. When I have a friend who has 100% disability working for the feds and fired, is now working in the kitchen, this is insanity. Yeah, I don't know. What do you believe if you go back and reread, even someone from a foreign country who is here legally can be deported? Oh, these gang members keep that in mind. Interesting. Yeah, let's see. Toward the aliens who become so liable. Whenever there's declared war between the United States and any foreign nation or government, or any invasion or predatory incursion is perpetrated, attempted, or threatened against the territory of the United States by any foreign nation or government, and the president makes proclamation of the events, all natives and citizens, denizens, or subjects of a hostile nation or government being the age of 14 and upwards, who shall be in the United States and not actually naturalized, shall be liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies. President's authorized by, in such an event, by his proclamation thereof or other public act, to direct the conduct to be observed on the part of the United States toward the aliens who become so liable in the manner and degree to this restraint to which they shall be subject, and in what cases, and upon what security their residence shall be permitted, and to provide for the loss of those permitted, who not being permitted to reside within the United States, refuse or neglect to depart therefrom. Yeah, I don't know. It's very complicated. Obviously, it's very messy. It's not clean, cut, and dry. There's some gray stuff. No due process is legally required. Yeah, I don't know. Deport them after due process. Not under this act. They get unilateral power to declare you enemy of the state and deport you without recourse. That's not due process, but it is legal under this act. Yeah. I think that's probably what it is that under this act, they can unilaterally declare you an enemy of the state as a foreign terrorist organization and deport you without any due process under this act. But if they hadn't issued this, then they wouldn't be able to do that. I think that's how it works, or at least that's how it is seeming to work.
Salvador mega prison. It comes as an Obama-appointed judge, temporary wartime.
What's up, Yossi?
For deportations. White House border czar Tom Homan joins us now. So, Tom, this is a promise made.
Homan, White House border czar.
But it looks like a judge is trying to stop this. Why?
I don't know why. I don't know why any judge would want terrorists returned to the United States. I mean, first of all, the video, what a beautiful thing to see.
It's incredible.
Look, the President Trump, by proclamation, invoked the authorities of the Alien Enemies Act, which he has the right to do, and it's a game changer. And we removed over 200 violent criminals from the United States, just not TDA, but also MS-13.
It's an executive function.
The action of President Trump made this country safer. Every criminal alien, every criminal public safety threat, and national security threat removed from this country makes this country safer. That's what the American voters voted for. That's their mandate as president. The president's keeping his promise. President Trump's a game changer. The Alien Enemies Act hasn't been used in a long time. And this is an extraordinary thing what the President Trump is doing to keep his promise to American people to make this country safe again.
Why, dude, it sounds like somebody's like sprinting around in the background on a basketball court or something. What do they do? What are they doing back there, dude? Did you guys hear that? It sounded like someone was like running around doing like sprints. Like what? That's kind of weird. Invoking the act is what makes it legal. Yes, it's still morally wrong and anti-ethical to what we stand for as a free nation. That's just my unwashed ass opinion. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, people are, regardless, like people should be free to feel however they feel about this. I'm not like telling you guys how to feel. I'm just conveying this is what's happening. And, you know, I like people to be able to freely talk about stuff. This is kind of the point of this. It's like, it is what it is. It happened. I'm not here to like tell you how I feel. I think that, if they're dangerous criminals, yeah, like they need to get out of here, especially if they're illegal, or if they're illegal migrants. But I don't know what the law is as far as like how this whole thing works, because this is way beyond my purview as far as like what I'm informed about. But this is what's happening, and I just like talking about things that are happening because I'm not educated enough or a subject matter expert on this stuff, but it is interesting to see how it's playing out.
And he's doing a fabulous job.
So, Tom, I look at this judge. The flights were already in the air, in international waters. How did the judge get involved? Did these
who gets to decide whether that trial, though? I don't know.
Did their lawyers
It's a good
get
question.
involved and make a petition to the judge?
It's a good question.
How did this happen? How did the judge know about the flights being in the air?
Again, information was leaked somehow. I don't quite know how it got leaked, but there was a court emergency court hearing on five people that were on schedule to be deported. The judge had a written order that said these 5 people can't be removed right now. It wasn't until this flight was already in international waters, heading down to El Salvador, that the judge made some comment about returning the flights. We're already in international waters. We're outside the borders of the United States. I'm the border czar. Once you're outside the border, you know, it is what it is. But they're in international waters, already on the way south, close to landing.
Tough to say,
you know
like...
what? We did what we had to do. Remove terrorists, significant public safety threats from the United States. By the order, the proclamation by the President of the United States, we did the right thing.
Tom, you say that it was 5 that were on there where this emergency hearing was coming. So why is the judge asking for the entire flight to be returned?
Your guess is as good as mine, Lawrence. You know, you got some radical judge who makes a decision.
This can't happen.
See here,
just
evidence is still required to designate someone as a member of one of these organizations. Due process occurs. Due process is different in different cases. The judiciary is involved, though. Due process doesn't mean they get a trial the same way as O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Due process protections, 5th and 14th Amendments, Immigration and Nationality Act, Asylum and Refugee Protections, Temporary Protected Status, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, U Visas and Violence Against Women Act, Prosecutorial Discretion, all protections. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they determined, you know, I don't know what process they went through to determine that each of these 200 some odd people were involved with that. I would hope that they went through some, you know, lengthy process to ensure that they're not sending somebody they shouldn't be. But I don't know. Again, I wasn't involved in that stuff, so I don't have any idea. I just see that this stuff happened, and this is what's going on. So
defies logic. I mean, who in their right mind, whether you're a judge or not, wants known public TDA, a recognized terrorist organization sent here by the Maduro regime to create havoc, to unsettle the United States through the use of fentanyl to kill thousands of Americans, violence to American citizens, raping and murdering young women in this country. They are enemies of this country, and President Trump treated them as enemies, and we did exactly what we should have done. Again, President Trump is going to make this country safe again. He's going to do it one illegal alien at a time. And this weekend, we did 261.
So Tom, what's next? Because I'm getting a little worried about the manpower. These guys they have to be tired. You got 30 guys in the stack going on different busts every single day. You're going to run out of money. It doesn't look like you're getting support from the Democrats on this. You're going against the judges now.
What's up, dude?
What's next?
Another flight. Another flight every day. Teams are going to be out there every day. Every day, the men and women of ICE are going to be in the neighborhoods of this nation arresting criminal, illegal alien, public safety threats, and national security threats. Lawrence, you're not going to stop us. We made a promise to the American people. The President Trump has made a promise to American people.
Hat, glass,
We're going to make
shirt,
this
what's
country
up?
safe again. I wake up every morning loving my job because I work for the greatest president in the history of my life, and we're going to make this country safe again. I'm proud to be a part of this administration. We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We're coming.
Yeah. I just love seeing you going through.
Let's see. I thought El Salvador just sees the type of the tats these guys have to dictate if they are in some sort of gang or terror unit. I don't know. So he opened himself up to people using this against him. Could have built in a little more due process, and you steal their ammo. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
These protesters just crunching on the apple as their liberal tears just flood the hallway. Tom Homan, thanks so much for joining the program.
Interesting either way. It is that's a pretty big deal. It's like over 200 people that got removed pretty quickly. I guess we'll see how this thing turns out. I don't know what's going to happen since the judge had tried to block it, but all of them were already landed. I don't know like what authority they have now that they're already in another country.